Good morning. This is Nicholas Hughes from BBC. No, can't do that. Well, howdy there. My name's Nicholas Hughes. I'm from the NRA, the Society to Make America Better, and also special consultant for the Donald Trump campaign. Today, we're going to talk about the immigrant crisis and the reform that needs to happen south of the border. Now, there's a lot of ways to look at this, but we have to look at the giant scope, exactly what we need to do. First, we have to look at the very different points of perspective and what exactly is happening. First and foremost, many children are fleeing from violence south of the border, where gang violence is wreaking havoc throughout Central America as the drug war rages on in northern Mexico. This is not an immigration crisis, this is a refugee crisis, stated Wendy Young, who's the president of Kids in Need of Defense, a national legal advocacy group. Last summer, President Obama declared a crisis along the border with Mexico in response to the tens of thousands of unaccompanied children coming to the country. But most U.S. adults favor keeping the illegal immigrants in the country and allowing them to become citizens over a period of time. A Gallup poll conducted in 2015 showed that 65% of U.S. adults agree for current undocumented immigrants to remain in the country and should have the opportunity to become citizens if they meet the requirements over time. Even with the Republicans, the same poll polled 50% in favor of retaining the undocumented immigrants. This is from the Gallup poll, the national and international polling service. Yet, the economic impact of deporting all of these immigrants would be enormous. It costs on average about $13,000 to deport anybody back to their home country. And if we were to do that for all 11 to 12 million undocumented U.S. immigrants, it would be hundreds of billions of dollars, according to the Atlantic Review, in a statistical study. It could be anywhere from figures of 400 billion upwards to 900 billion. This not even begin to touch the workforce. You have industries like agriculture, construction, and hospitality that would be hit the hardest. This coming from the New York Times and their look on the subject. If we were to deport all of the illegal immigrants, the impact on our economy would also be enormous. Our economy would shrink by around 6%, roughly the total GDP of Texas. I mean, it's about $1.6 trillion. And this is coming from both the Christian Science Monitor as well as CNBC's Deport Undocumented Workers special article. $1.6 trillion. This would severely curtail our economy, especially this entire process would take over 2 decades, and prices would rise, and the taxpayers would have to bear the burdens. And to those that say that they're streaming across the border in record numbers, the population of undocumented immigrants is actually flattening. It's only on the decline. The Pew Research Center stated that there are over 5.9 million illegal immigrants in the U.S. as of 2012. That's down from 6.7 million in 2007. Though the Mexican population makes up about 52% of the total undocumented population. Immigrants from areas such as Asia, Africa, and the Middle East rose slightly over the period of time from 2007 to 2012. So it seems as though the problem of securing that southern border may not be as prominent as it might seem. And these are facts coming from the Pew Research Center. So if you look at all the facts, you have one side that is saying that the effect on the economy is enormous, of trillions of dollars, billions of trillions of dollars. Yet you have this other side talking about how these people are coming from violence-stricken areas, and they're just going to bring that violence with them. That drug war going on is not going to stop anytime soon. That gang violence in Central America is not going to stop anytime soon. So what do we need to do as a country to solve this problem? Perhaps find a moderate approach, something that can compromise between both sides of the issue, to secure both the border, but also find a solution for the immigrants that are still here in the States to avoid the economic burden of deporting them back to their country. This issue is one that will be debated, especially now that the primaries elections are getting underway. And I hope you pay good attention to all the candidates and what they say about the issue. Pardon me, it is certainly an issue not to be reckoned with. Now, this has been Nicholas Hughes with the NRA, and my special report on the immigration issue. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great evening.